Welcome to all of you as requested by many students. So today I am going to discuss income tax liability of a resident company taxation. So one module section is prepared by me. So I'm going to discuss that with you. I'm not going to discuss in detail on theory, but the time to time I will discuss where the theoretical aspects are important. I will discuss those things very shortly. So without further ado, we'll discuss the question, right? So this year, if anyone who appears in the exam 22-23, this year is a little bit difficult, right? Little bit difficult, not that much. If you know the concept, it's easy for you to do, right? So, and also I will explain why it is difficult, I say, right? So, because you know that we have year of assessment 22-23 starting from 1st of April 2022 to 31st March 2023. In between, what was happened, government introduced new changes to the existing Inland Revenue Act, right? With effective from 1st January 2023 onward, major changes they implemented, right? So then what was the suggestion given by the Inland Revenue Department, and the act also amended accordingly? The companies, they have to, even though the rate changes, major changes effect from the state, the companies, they need to compute tax liability to period by splitting into 6 months, each 6 months. Then the year April to September, right? First 6 months. This is called first 6 months. You have to compute the income tax rate as per the previous act, not the previous act, the existing act with the previous rate before amendment, right? So the second 6 month, October to March, right? For the second 6 months, this is we call always going forward first 6 months, and the here second 6 month, and sometime all the legislation they say first period and the second period, right? Then the two period you have to compute taxes, and by taking into consideration those changes, what are the rate changes, right? So here we had a previously 24%, right? 24% general income tax rate, and now it's 30%. But the law have a lot of changes with effective from January, but for company, you have to apply that one with effective from 1st of October onward, right? I will show you the rate changes, all these things with you. I will share for income tax liability of a resident company, how to apply the tax rate, right? It's available in the first schedule of the Inland Revenue Act. If you have the amended version, consolidated version of the Inland Revenue Act, right? So if you don't have the consolidated version, I will share the link under this video. You can download that one, right? You can download that. For the time being, you can refer this, right? So on the first schedule, here tax rates for individual and tax rate for partnership, tax rate for trust, tax rate for companies, right? So you can see, right, up to with effective from 1st January, they change it to again 20K4, right? And then the law amended accordingly for companies for 6 months and last 6 months, right? For company, first 6 months, 24%, and the second 6 month, 30%, right? With effective from 2023 onward, 30% is the tax rate, right? So this is the change for company. But individuals for 9 months and 3 months will remain as it is, right? For individual, I have already discussed separate video. You can refer to that, right? So this is the individual scenario, right? So if you want, you can refer this, right? Then the companies, we have two period, first period and the second period. We need to compute income tax liability for the first period and second period separately. I would say first 6 month and the second 6 month, 24% and the 30%, right? The tax rate. If it is company enjoying the lower rate, the manufacturer 18% or any other exporter 14%, right? Then they can have the lower rate for the first period and the second period 30% higher rate, right? 14% and the, I would say here, if you want, I can write it down. Here there are some company they had lower rate 14%. Now for the second period, for companies only this one, right? For individual, here for companies, right? For individual, it's 9 months and 3 months. For individual, 9 months and 3 months, right? 9 and 3. Here, 6 and 6, right? For companies. Then the most of the changes with that, even though they came up with this date, but for companies, they have made the provision to apply for first 6 months and second 6 months. It's easy you to compute because most of the company they can split properly for 6 months and 6 months, right? So then, without further ado, let's go to the computation, right? For here, as is balance tax payable, here the question says you to assess balance tax payable or refund due of MMPL in respect of the year of assessment 22-23, right? Make a in single if I explain, so make a order පැහැදිලි ඇති company එක or computation එක හදද්දී for 22-23 එකේ 6 month, first 6 month and last 6 month or separately compute කරන්න වෙනවා, right? So there is a separate circular, right? Issued by Inland Revenue Department, right? Better if you can refer this circular as well. I will put this link into this under this video, right? Here also for companies, how to deal with the tax provision for this transitional period with the not exactly transitional, this is with the recent amendment for the applicable 22-23 year, how to compute, right? For company, then here it says, right, for the first period and second period, how to do, right? First 6 months and the second 6 months, right? Likewise, they explain those things, right? Then the first 6 months and the second 6 months. And here, if you have interest income, you can go ahead with the actual basis, right? Interest income mass period, right? Actual basis. So when it's come to business income, yes, you can get pro rata basis, 50% of the first period and 50% for the second. Then in my computation also, I will go ahead with this pro rata basis, right? Or we can go ahead with the actual as well if you have separate financial statement for first 6 months and last 6 months. I prefer most of companies who did pro rata basis for this year, they have filed the tax return. So there are some companies who might compute in on actual basis, but they need to have a separate accounts. If they have, they need to, in case if in the revenue department, if they request, they have to provide that. Anyway, it's a required document, it's available, right? So it's up to them, right? So When it's come to other things, we'll discuss as and when required, right? When they are discussing the theoretical areas, right? So here, the questions for the year of assessment 22-23, then modern music, a subsidiary of Music World PLC, manufactures and sells musical instruments and other related parts in the international market, right? Part in the international market, very important, right? So we can get a clue on this question, right? They are making sales to international market as well, right? So we don't know if they have local sales. Let's read it, right? So MMPL purchase 80% of required material from local suppliers and the rest 20% import from India and Germany, right? So then why this importation things given, right? You need to get to understand why these details are given. Mainly, if you can remember marketing and communication, right? Double deduction, right? Additional deduction is available for marketing and communication expenses. If you source locally more than 65%, you can get additional 100% deduction subject to the provision, right? So all the marketing and communication expense deduction නිසා තමයි මේක දීලා තියෙන්නේ, right? You have to refer that one as well, right? You need to have some sort of idea about marketing and communication, what it is, right? If you want, you can search Marcom, right? Here, marketing and communication expenses, right? But this provision also removed. This is applicable only for the year of assessment 21, right? 21, 22, 22, 23 only, right? These 2 years we can enjoy this benefit additional 100%, right? After that, for 23, 24, we don't have this provision, right? You need to understand that. Previously, they came up with 3 years, but they amended it to 2 years, right? මේක අවුරුදු 3කට මුලින් දුන්නේ. දැන් අවුරුදු 3ක් නැහැ, ඒක change කරා. අවුරුදු 2යි. ඉතින් ඔයාලා ඉන්නේ මේ අවුරුද්දේ. Then you can enjoy that benefit, right? So subject to this condition, it should be this condition should be satisfied. Not an associate person, right? ඒ මාකෝම් එක associate person කෙනෙක් වෙන්න බෑ, right? Then most of the companies they might incur marketing and communication with the other company, right? So then you can't deduct the double deductions group companies, right? So then anyone can utilize that benefit, right? කෙනෙක් intercompany එකට කියලා marketing කරගෙන additional benefit එකක් ගන්න බෑ, right? It should be a purely third party, right? And there are some other internet marketing expenses, salaries for marketing staff you can't deduct, right? Salary ගෙවුත් කියලා marketing staff එක you can't deduct. Additional 100% you can't get, right? So those things are there. You can get up to maximum 500 million, right? So expenditure attributable to goods and service 65% of local value addition, right? You need to check whether 65% local value addition if it is there, right? Then anyway in our question it says 80% local source, right? So in the question says 80% is local in the sense we can get the mark, right? 80% local, right? If it is 80% local, you can enjoy this 80%, right? 100% double deduction, right? For marketing. Marketing and communication. I would say Marcom in basic probably need to explain, right? So, right. Detail extract for the P&L, income statement, revenue they have, cost of sale, right? And I don't read figures. In the even the exam don't read figures, right? Exam එකේදී මේ numbers කියවි ඉන්න time waste කරන්න. Just at a glance, we just look at what are those things, right? So other income and gain separate notes there. This is for separate notes, right? Admin, yes, we have separate note. Selling, we have separate note. Finance cost, we have separate note. Right? Detail extract from the financial position, right? Balance sheet, right? Share capital, yeah. reserves, general reserves, revaluation reserves, right? Borrowings, and the bank OD, right? If these details are provided in the exam, what is for this? For thin capitalization, thin cap, finance cost adjustment, right? මේක දීලා තියෙන්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන් මේක දුන්න ගමන් ඔයාලා හිතන්න ඕනේ එක්සෑම් එකේදී මේක අර finance cost adjustment එකට, right? or thin cap adjustment එකට, right? So the revenue breakup, export, as I said, they are doing international set export. Then what is the rate for export? Yeah, 14%, right? Then because it's have a clue on this, they are providing to international market, then the rate is clear. But you need to think for first period and second period, what are the rate? For first period, we can enjoy 14% lower rate, right? So the second period, it's 30%, right? Right? Understood? Right. Okay. Cost of sale, right? Cost of sale also, right? They have slow moving inventory provision. If you note provisions, right, definitely you have to do adjustment, right? So provisions, any provisions not allowed, right? Any provision not allowed under this act, right? You have to add back, right? Let's do the calculation and while discussing this, right? It's easy for me to reduce the time, right? So profit before tax, this much, rupees in thousand, right? Rupees in thousand, make sure you do the same at the exam. Right, profit before tax, I took it here, right? It's for me, right? In Excel, I hope it's visible, right? Right. Then, right. Then the first adjustment, right? First adjustment, I will go ahead with not the thin cap, right? First adjustment, I will take thin cap details are there because I will take when we are discussing the P&L items, right? So then the slow moving inventory provisions, anyway, we have to disallow any provisions, right? Right, slow moving inventory provisions. How much? You need to make sure you are not taking 1,000 because I'm just doing rupees in thousand, right? 20,500. So slow moving inventory provision, right? So then this is taken, right? Right. And the cost of sale adjustment is done, right? So then other income and gains, we have two periods because first April to September, first 6 months, and the second 6 months, October to March, right? So then total, right? Gross income, gross income, gross interest, sorry, gross interest for first period and second period, and total, right? Dividend, and foreign exchange gain, and profit from on disposal of computer, right? Then there are some adjustments, right? Anyway, in the exam, if you noted that other incomes which are not related to business, because first of all, we are going to calculate here assessable income from the business here. This part, mainly, if I want to separate this one from the full computation like this part is we can call calculation of assessable income from the business, right? Assessable income from business. This is the part AIB, assessable income from business. For business, right? For business, assessable income, if you want, I write it down for right? Assessable calculation of assessable income from business. Business, if it's business, any investment comes, you can't keep it here, right? You have to remove those things, right? If you have any investment income, you can't keep it under business, right? Business එකේ තියාගන්න බෑ investment income ඔක්කොම අයින් කරන්න ඕන, right? So here interest, Interest කියන්නේ මොනවාද? Interest means investment. You have to remove. You have to remove. Right? You can take it separately when we are dealing with discussing the assessable income from investment. Investment income, assessable income එක හදද්දී අපිට ඒක ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So we will remove this one from the business. Right? Investment income තියාගන්නේ නැහැ business income එක ඇතුළේ. Right? Then dividend income. Right? Gross dividend how much? Whatever the gross dividend, that doesn't matter. Right? You have to remove that. Right? We are not keeping under business. Business එක ඇතුලේ තියාගන්න ඈ investment. Right? See, in single you can see තමන්ගේ ගෙදර තියාගන්නේ නැහැ අනුන්ගේ assets. Right? Right? So your own asset you will keep. Right? So in the business එකට අදාළ ආදායම් වියදම් විතරයි මෙතන තියාගන්න. Right? Right? So then here, then that's are the two things we will consider as an investment activity, right? So then here the interest and dividend, right? Interest and dividend, we will take it separately, remote, and we will take it separately when we are doing the assessable income from investment, right? So dividend also become part of assessable income from investment, right? We'll take it there and discuss in detail, right? Here, there are some references for interest. Bank has deducted advance income tax only for the second period, right? Second period, the rate 5%, right? 5% bank deducted. We'll consider it later, right? Dividend has been received from an associate company which declare out of profit dividend, right? So the first period and the second period, when we are doing the investment income, I will discuss in detail, right? Exchange gain relating to business. If it is exchange gain relating to business, not the investment. Investment එකට නම් අපි මෙතනින් අයින් කරන්න ඕනේ. If it is exchange gain relating to investment, we can remove, right? Here it's investment income related to business, which include unrealized exchange gain amounting to 10 million. If it is unrealized, right? If it is unrealized, you have to remove. Exchange gain වල ඔයාලා බලන්න ඕන දෙකක් තියෙනවා, right? If it is unrealized. If I little bit explain theory part, right? If you want, right? Exchange gain, if it is business, whether it is realized or unrealized, right? If it is realized gain, do nothing. Or realized loss, මුකුත් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Plus minus එකට adjustment එකක් එන්නේ, right? If it is realized. If it is unrealized, what you can do is, if it is unrealized gain, unrealized gain, realized වෙලා නැහැ. බොරුවට profit එකක් වෙන්න. Bottom එක වැඩි කරගන්න, right? Right? Then there may be some other benefits for the key management persons, right? Right? So if that's so, they book it unrealized gain, right? We have to remove that one. Is again unrealized loss. Tax එක අඩු කරගන්න බොරු loss එකක් වෙන්නන්න පුළුවන්, right? Unrealized, right? Those things are not allowed, right? Those things are not allowed. So then what you can do is, if it is unrealized gain, realized වෙලා නැහැ, unrealized gain එකක් වෙනවා මේක ඇතුලේ, right? So unrealized gain, what you have to do is, you have to remove it, right? Unrealized gain. Unrealized exchange gain. Unrealized exchange gain, how much? 10 million. Right? You have to remove because it is unrealized. Unrealized business, right? Business related gain, you have to remove, right? Then this part also done, right? You need to remember this. I will put R because we have to come back when we are doing when we are doing the assessable income from investment, we have to come back again, right? This part is done, and the detail of PPE, right, are given. Then the here it is connected to this disposal of computer, disposal, profit on disposal of computer, gain 200. Then what we have to do is accounting gain. Gain එකක් නෑ. Accounting gain we have to remove it, right? Gain එක profit එකට එකතු වෙලා තියෙන එක අඩු කරන්න ඕන, right? Accounting gain. Right? We have to remove. Profit on disposal of computer. This is accounting. So accounting profit on disposal of computer, right? Accounting profit on disposal of computer, you have to remove 200 there, right? 200,000, right? We have to remove. And then we have to do the tax computation, tax adjustment based on the assessable charge or balancing allowance on disposal of gain or losses, right? අපිට tax profit එක හරි tax loss එක හරි හොයන්න ඕන මේ computer sale එකෙන්, right? Then let's work it on this, right? So assessable charge or balancing allowance, I would say here. Then the tax purpose we have to do this one. I would say assessable charge or balancing allowance. Balancing allowance on computer, right? Assessable charge or balancing allowance in the sense assessable charge කියන්නේ tax profit එක, balancing allowance කියන්නේ tax loss එක, right? Assessable charge or balancing allowance on computer say, right? On computer sale, right? Here first of all we will take sale price. Assessable charge කියන එක, if you can't understand, tax profit, right? Tax profit, right? Tax profit or tax loss කියලා දැම්මත් කමක් නැහැ in the exam, right? Tax loss. Tax loss. Tax profit එක computer sale එකේ tax මේ accounting profit එකනේ. Accounting profit we have to remove, right? Accounting profit එක නම් අයින් කරන loss එකක් තිබුණා නම් මේකෙන් අඩු වෙලා තියෙන profit එක ඒක නිසා එකතු කරනවා, right? Since it is accounting profit, we have to remove, right? Then what we have to do is we have to do the tax profit or tax loss. Tax profit එකද loss එකද තියෙන්නේ කියලා බලන්න. We have to work it out, right? So let's take the sale price, right? Sale price is how much? We have to look at the picture, right? Computer accessories purchase, right? The computer accessories purchase in the year of assessment 2021 was sold during the year, right? 1,500 due to technology upgrade, right? It doesn't matter the technology, yeah, right? Just look at the figures. They sold 1,500, right? 1,500. They sold it, right? 1,500. And then selling price minus, you can deduct what? You can deduct tax written down value, right? Tax written down value, right? So in order to calculate tax written down value, right? Tax written down value. So you need to get the cost of such asset, right? Right? Cost of such asset. Accessories were sold this much. What is the purchase? No, right? Computer purchase during the year was sold 1,500, right? Computer, right? So the cost 2,000, right? Here under disposal, you can see 2,000 is the cost, right? Right. We'll take it here. Cost in the year of purchase 2,000. They have removed here. Here this detail provided cost, right? Here also cost. Therefore, we can take the cost, right? Exactly. Not the written down value. This is the just P&L data given with the cost and acquisition and all these things. Not the depreciation, and those things are not included here. Only the cost of the asset and the acquisition and disposal and the again cost here, right? So the disposal which was purchased in the year 2021, 2020 and 2021, 2000. Then the purchase cost in in 2020 and 2021. So this, and right, if the asset purchase in the 2020 and 2021, any purchase year, right, you can claim full year depreciation or capital allowance, we call it, right? You can deduct capital allowance, right? Capital allowance ගැන කතා කරොත්, right? If we are claiming capital allowance, first of all, you have to remember one thing. The first thing is you need to have ownership, own, use, and available, right? Available, right? If these three things are satisfied, you can claim capital allowance. If these three things are satisfied, you can claim capital allowance, right? Own, right? Ownership එක ඔයාලට තියෙනවා, right? Use කරන්නත් ඕන. Ownership එක තියුණට asset එකක්, if you think machinery you purchase in this year of assessment, not use at all in this year, entire year. Let's say you purchase in March, at the end of the year of assessment, right? March අන්තිම මාසේ ගන්නවා machine එක ගෙනල්ලා ඒ box එකේම තියෙන use කරන්න, right? එහෙනම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? You can't claim the capital allowance, right? Because it is not used, right? Own, again, you under your name, under your company name, you should purchase, right? Or we ඔයාලට බෑනේ අල්ලපු ගෙවල් වල ඉන්න කියන්න මොනවද අයිතිවාසිකම් කියන්න, right? It should be your own wife, right? So the same thing, right? Your own asset under company name, right? Right? So again, use කරන්නත් ඕන. use කරේ නැතත් මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා තේරෙනවනේ, right? You can't claim the capital allowance, right? So then it should be available තියෙන්නත් ඕන, right? company තියනවාද කියලා බලන්න, right? company තියනවාද කියලා බලන්න, right? If it is not, right, you can't, right? If it is not available in the sense it appears, it's disposed, right? Divorce නෙමෙයි, dispose, right? So you need to think whether it's disposed or available. If it is disposed, you can't claim, right? Right? So then you need to remember these three conditions are satisfied: own, ownership under company, and use during the year of assessment, and available. Right? Even if you have one single month or one single date in the year of assessment, if these three criteria are satisfied, you can claim in the capital allowance for full year, right? එක මාසයක් use කරා, එක දවසක් use කරා for tax වල capital allowance අවුරුද්දටම claim කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? Even if you use one single day for the year of assessment or one single month, you can claim capital allowance for full year, right? In the disposal, year of disposal, in the year of disposal, can you claim capital allowance? In the year of disposal, විකුණන අවුරුද්දේදී මොකද වෙන්නේ? Ownership එක තියෙනවා, use කරලත් තියෙනවා, but අවුරුද්ද අවසානයේදී බැලුවොත් at the end of the year it is not available. මාස 31 වෙද්දී balance sheet එකේ available in the balance sheet. If you want, you can write down available in the balance sheet. So BS, right? Available in the balance sheet, right? If it is not available in the balance sheet, in the sense you can't claim the capital loss. Again, විකුණන අවුරුද්දට share capital loss claim කරන්න බෑ, right? විකුණන අවුරුද්දට capital loss claim කරන්න බෑ. So in the year of purchase full capital allowance, full capital allowance can be claimed in the year of disposal, in the year of, right? No capital allowance, no capital allowance can be claimed, right? 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 Capital allowance cannot be claimed otherwise, right? Right? Clear. So then if they purchase 2021 for capital allowance for 2021, yes, how much? Then for computer, as per the new act, we can get 5 years, right? 5 years in the sense 20% as a percentage if you take, right? So for this year, you divide it by 5, 400 you can deduct, right? 400 you can deduct. So if you want, you can take the cost here and take the 20%, right? You will get this answer, right? Because law says 5%, right? For computer, right? It's available in the law. I hope you have theory knowledge. I'm just doing the computation with assuming that you have the theory knowledge, right? So again, for this year, cost, and again 21, 22. So we can claim this much, right? So then, can we claim capital allowance for 22, 23? No, you can't claim because year of disposal, the asset is not available in the balance sheet date, right? Then you can't claim. So here you can get written down value here. How much? Tax written down value. Tax written down value is this much, right? Tax written down value is this much. Then you deduct this written down value. You can get then what? Assessable charge or tax profit, you would say. Right? Assessable tax. මේක plus figure එකක් ආව නිසා අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් assessable charge කියලා. minus figure ආව නම් balancing allowance or tax loss කියලා කියන්න. Tax loss කියලා දැම්මත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ exam එකේ, right? So here tax profit, taxable profit on disposal of computers. If it is tax profit, we are removing the accounting profit and we have to add back the tax profit in the plus column, right? Here you are, right, having the idea of this, right? Right. Clear? Very clear, right? In the plus minus, we did in the minus column, accounting profit we remove. Here tax profit we add, right? In the plus column, right? Oh, it's clear. Right. Then the next adjustment, right? We consider this. And then MMPL has acquired 500 here cost during this year worth of motor lorry during the year, right? For this year, they have purchased motor lorry. Then again, you can claim capital allowance for this, right? Capital allowance on let's look at one by one, right? So one is motor lorry, right? So motor lorry, the cost, how much? 5,000, right? So sorry, how much? 5,000, yes. Yeah, motor lorry, 5,000 during this year. And again, we have altogether 10,000 and altogether 15,000 motor lorry. So let's look at the other note as well. Other than especially mentioned, all other assets as at 1st April 2022, right, have been acquired 1920 and claimed for capital allowance from the date of acquisition, right? 1920, right? 1920, these assets, right? The land, can we claim capital allowance? No, right? For office building, yes, we can claim. Computer, we have already considered for disposal part, but again, we have to consider the balance part, right? So motor lorry, again, we have 15 million, right? So let's look at one by one in the capital allowance page, right? So yeah, lorry, we can get capital allowance for 15 million. So, right, 15 million, we can claim the capital allowance for 15 million because I'm taking that by the year of acquisition, year of acquisition for these assets, 1920, right? 1920, how many years we can claim for this office building? Office building, 5%, right? 5%, right? That means we can claim 20 years as per the law, right? I hope you are aware under the Inland Revenue Act, capital allowance, we can claim, right? As per the schedule, class by class. Let me share it to you here. Right. Right. If you look at computers, computer, 5 years, right? 5 years in the sense 20%, right? So other then the next, you can say equipment, the vehicles, right? Those things we can again 5 years, that means 20%. So here again, office furniture, fixtures, equipment, right? Again, 5 years in the sense 20%. Right? Building or similar structure, permanent nature, 5%, 20 years. Intangible assets or goodwill, again, right? Intangible asset and goodwill, you have to consider whether, as per the accounting principle, if they specify the lifetime, you can consider that. Otherwise, any asset or intangible asset, if they have infinite useful life, we can go ahead with the 20 years. That means, again, 5%, right? 20 years in the sense 5%. Accounting policy වල කම්පැනියට identify කරගන්න බැරි නම් useful life එක intangible asset වල දැන් ගොඩක් කම්පැනි වල they have identified in the accounting policies or accounting policy එක බැලුවොත් annual report එක අරගෙන they might say intangible asset they assume that they can use 10 years or හයකට use තම 15 20 එහෙමනම් ඒක ගන්න පුළුවන් otherwise better to use 20 years as per the act, right? So there are the deductions as well. So milking machine, you can go ahead with 2 years, that means 50% with effective from 21, 22, right? So then I hope you have this knowledge, right? So then if, as I said, let's look at the first of all motor lorry, right? Motor lorry, we have 10,000, right? For which is purchase. Motor lorry, what is the rate? 20%, right? 20% motor lorry. So they purchase 1920 for this 10, right? 20, 21, again 20%, this is 20%, and 21, 22, again 20%. Again, we are in 22, 23, again we can get this, right? For purchase year also we can get. Then altogether 15,000, we can get 20%, no worries, right? So, right, 20%. Make a breakup, right? No need to have breakup for the purchase asset in the previous 1920, right? And the balance 5,000 this year. In the exam, it is not required because anyway, you are struggling with the time, right? මේ ටයිම් එකත් එක්ක මේකේ good presentation එකක් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. anyway 20 නම් තාම asset එක remaining time එකේ තියෙනවා නම් 20 කෙලින්ම cost එකට දාන්න. right? මේක ලස්සනට presentation හදලා මෙච්චර written down value තියෙනවා claim කරලා balance එකට තමයි මෙච්චර එහෙම කියලා හදලා. right? If you want to waste your time, you can do it, right? Otherwise, you can simply get the cost and still 20% is claimable of cost, right? cost එකෙන් 120 ගානේ අවුරුදු 5ක් claim කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඒක එකපාර ගන්න. You can directly take it, right? If you want to waste your time, yeah, you can do the separate splitting and all these things, right? Right. Then the next one, office building, sorry, motor lorry we have taken because of this adjustment, right? Then the other asset, land, no capital allowance. Sorry. Then if you want, you can write down land, not applicable, right? So I would say, yeah, not applicable. You will put 0, right? Right, for land. Land, if you want, you can get the cost, right? Again, 15, right? Again, 15 million, right? For then next, office building, yeah, office building, 1,000, 1,000, right? Right, then percentage, 20 years in the sense 5%, right? 5%. Office building, because those asset purchase 1920, right? Computer, we have disposal as well. We remove the disposal. The year of disposal, we can't claim the capital allowance. Then we have 18,000 balance as cost. Yes, we can claim. For again, for computer, 20%, right? Then what else? The model of it we have considered, right? All these things we have considered now, right? All these things we have considered. Here, capital allowance. If you want, you can take it like this, hopefully, yeah. Right? I will remove the minus sign, right? And you can easily take it here, right? In the minus column, right? Because deduction, capital allowance on what lorry, land, no capital allowance, building, computer, right? Right, clear. Then capital allowance part also discuss in detail, right? Right, well, let's look at the balance part of the question. Then the next one is administration expenses include following, right? Administration expenses are there, but section says following are included in this, right? Depreciation, right? Then anyway, we are claiming capital allowance, we have to disallow depreciation, right? So then we claim the capital allowance, the same time we have to account in depreciation. Counting depreciation, we have to add back in the plus column. Add back in the plus column, right? In the plus column, I will select color in light blue, right? The minus column, so light red plus input up, right? So So green is deduction, you're always happy, right? In the green, then you can easily understand, right? So accounting depreciation, we have to add back, we are claiming capital loss, right? Accounting depreciation, how much? 10,000, right? We are getting 10,000, right? So this part is done in depreciation part. And then gratuity provision. If you see gratuity provisions, no need to refer the subnote. If it is provision, you can just quickly add it back the provision. Whatever the provision is there, you will have to disallow, right? Provision එකක් නම් අනිවාර්යෙන්ම add back කරන්න. Then let's look at the note. Note says gratuity paid. How much? Gratuity paid 3,500, right? Rupees in thousand. Paid you can deduct, right? Gratuity paid you can deduct 3,500 rupees in thousand, right? That adjustment also done. This gratuity provision and this one is also taken, right? Then next, bad debt provisions. Again, if it is provision, no doubt you can quickly disallow, right? If it is provision, 7,000, right? 7,000, you can disallow. Right. Then what you can do? Bad debt provisions, you have disallowed. Then bad debt written off amounting to 4,000, right? Bad debt written off 4,000, right? Bad debt written off 4,000. However, the company has not taken recovery action, 3,000 worth of bad debt. Recovery action are again 3,000 worth. Then here, very important concept to learn your theory, right? Theory knowledge, test here, the testing your theory knowledge, right? If recovery action not taken, actions is not taken, you can't claim. Out of this 4,000, right? Out of this 4,000, 1,000, they have taken recovery action taken. Recovery action taken, RAT, it can be anyway, right? Recovery action taken. Here, 3,000 recovery action not taken, right? Okay. Recovery action not taken. If it is recovery action taken part, only we can deduct, right? In our bad debt written off, අපි අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? We can deduct bad debt written off, right? Bad debt written off, we can deduct if it is taken recovery action. Only 1,000 part they have taken recovery action. Bad debt written off, how much? 1,000, right? Hope it's clear. Whatever the provisions we have to add back, right? And we can deduct written off, bad debt written off if they have taken recovery action, right? It's also done. Bad debt, right? So then the repair and maintenance. Repair and maintenance, refer to the note number 8, right? Repair and maintenance, 1,000. 1,000 has been incurred during the year repair and maintenance of the office building, right? Repair and maintenance of office building, right? Here, you need to remember one thing. In the repair and maintenance, we had separate provision, right? So if it is for repair and maintenance, you have to do that adjustment, right? So repair and maintenance. Here, repair and maintenance and improvements. If it is improvements are there, you have to consider as a part of separate adjustment. If that provision is there, you have to do improvement part, separate adjustment, you have to add back to the respective asset and claim the capital allowance. You have to disallow the improvement here, right? For the major improvement, you have to disallow and do the separately claim the capital allowance by adding that part, disallowed part, to the tax written down value, right? Here, because that provision is going to remove, no adjustment is required since it is not improvement, right? So here, repair and maintenance only. Repair and maintenance කරා කියලා capital asset එකේ improvement එකක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. repair එකක් කරනවා maintenance එකක් කරනවා. But if it is not improvement, if you go to the Inland Revenue Act, repair and maintenance and improvement, right? Repair and improvement, right? Repair and improvements here. You have to carefully look at in the examiner given this adjustment as repair and improvement, right? If it is repair, no adjustment is required. Repair and maintenance or repair only, right? Repair විතරක් නා නැත්නම් repair and maintenance විතරක් නා, right? No adjustment is required. Repair and improvements. If it is improvement part is there, right? You have to do adjustment, right? Whether it's a class 2 asset, class other class asset, right? You have to do an adjustment, right? Improvements means what, right? The person. Then the what is definition is there, right? Improvement can right? Then there is a separate calculation is required. Here, fortunately, we have repair and maintenance only. If repair and maintenance only there, right? We have to do what? We have to do nothing, right? No need to do anything. You have to just show your knowledge, repair and maintenance by taking that, right? For repair and maintenance, no adjustment required, right? Right? No adjustment required since no improvement. Right? No adjustment required since no improvement, right? So here we will not get any adjustment, right? In the plus minus, right? And then the next legal fees. Legal fees again we have to refer what is the note legal fee. Generally we can deduct other than capital nature, right? If it is relating to capital nature, right? Legal fees 500 relating to, right? Legal fees of 500 incurred transfer of deed of office land. Deed we consider as capital nature. Capital asset, right? Capital asset, then capital nature. So capital asset, then capital nature. So legal fees not allowed, right? Legal fees, you can mention legal fee as capital nature, right? Here because it is connected with the deed transfer. Deed is capital asset. So on deed, you are written mention the capital nature, right? We have to disallow 500, right? Then this is also done. Then under administration expenses, we got all the adjustments, right? Then the selling and distribution. Under that, as I explained, markup, right? Marketing and communication expenses, right? First one, markup referred to X, right? 25 million. The advertising, social media, including television, radio, print, mass advertising during the year to third party. Yes, to third party, you can allow as deduction for parent company. Through the parent company, not allowed because it's associated, right? So I discussed that the marketing communication, if you refer to consolidated act, what is marketing and communication means it says, right? What is marketing and communication? Advertising, media, television, those. Our part also here, right? So these criteria should be fulfilled, right? Telling the person by such person or and yeah, any institution in Sri Lanka on his behalf, right? So these things I'm not going to read. So marketing and communication expenses, you can get additional 100% deduction as I discussed for this year as well. Because you are in this year 22-23, you can claim, right? So if it is not an associate, you can get, if it is not based on salary, right? Because of salary paying to staff, it is cannot be deducted, right? So then you need to make sure more than value addition. Yes, we are getting 80% of the value addition locally, right? You can get this benefit. You can't go beyond 500,000. Yes, that's you need to have proper record, source of document. There is a gazette notification for this. This is the gazette number 2258/18, right? It says you need to maintain this separate record if the Commissioner General and definitely the restricts. If you are claiming significant amount, you need to have proper record. You may refer to this gazette notification as well if you are generally in practice, right? For the exam, that's mine, right? Examiner will not ask those schedules and all these things, right? So here for marketing communication, yes, in this context, here as I discussed from the beginning, 80% of purchase local, right? Local, then you can get additional 100% mark on if it is connected with the third party, right? So not the related party. So third party, yes, 10,000 is there. Other out of 25, other 15 connected with the out of 25, other 15 connected with the related party, associate person. Then you can get Marcom expenses additional 100%. I'd say Marcom additional 100%, right? Only third party. If you want, you can say, okay, how much can deduct in the minus column, yellow, so green, as green light deduction, right? Right, 10,000, right? Then next one is the research and development. Sorry, research expenses. Research expenses, yes, research and development adjustment. Number 11, right? Company has incurred here 2000 research, improving efficiency of product process, right? Improving research on improving efficiency of production process, right? Then if you go to research and development adjustment, right? Here, the research and development you can deduct, right? If it is incurred by any company, right? In-house on capital nature scientific industrial research for upgrading business. If it is company itself incurred, you can't deduct. If through an institution in Sri Lanka, you can get 100% deduction. If through an institution outside Sri Lanka, you can't. Research and development revenue or capital nature expenses, innovation or research relating to high value agriculture product. You can even if you company විසින්ම දරනවා. ඒ cost එක additional තව ගන්න පුළුවන් 100%. To an institution in Sri Lanka, you can get foreign company එකක් නම් කරන්නේ ගන්න. Here in our expenses, business process development, right? Improving business product or process, right? Even if you incur, even to a company in Sri Lanka, when a කවුරු හරි කරලා දෙනවා. or foreign company එකක් කරත් you can get it, right? Again, you can get research and development expenses here, research expenses, how much? 2,000 as additional deduction because it's connected to the business process improvement, right? So research expenses, additional 100% deduction is there. How much? 2,000, right? Green light deduction column, right? Then the next, entertainment expenses, right? Company has incurred 750 entertainment of customers, right? Entertainment not allowed because it is not incurred for the purpose of production of income, right? Entertainment, whatever the nature, you have to disallow, right? Entertainment කරා කියලා සින්දුවක් දාලා නැතුව කියලා කම්පැනි මැනුෆැක්චරින් ගාමන්ට් එකක් නම් වැඩි ටික වැඩි වෙනවනේ. අපර ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් එක වැඩි වෙනවනේ. හැම ඕන කෙනෙක්ම සින්දුවක් දාලා නටයිනේ. So that won't happen, right? So then 750 we have to disallow entertainment, right? With, right? So then company has donated 1,000 worth of educational expenses, worth of educational equipment to the medical faculty of Sri Jayawardenepura, University of Sri Jayawardenepura. 1,000 donation, right? Donation, if you know that whatever the donation you have to disallow, and subsequently what you can do is, if it is donation to government or specified institution, under qualifying payment, you can get this because this is specified institution under section 52, right? Under section 52, this is qualifying payment. You need to remember this part, right? You need to remember this part. As a under section 52, you can deduct any amount for government or specified institution. This is will come under government and specified institution, right? So therefore, you can get deduction under qualifying payment, but in the plus minus, no deduction, right? In the plus minus, of business get assessable income from business එකහදද්දී donation කොහේදී මොන related government donation, approved charity, whatever the donation, you have to disallow. There are 1,000. You have to disallow. Right? Then next. Finance cost including following, right? Finance cost including following. Next one. Here we need to remember qualifying payment, and here investment income things we have to remember, right? And then finance cost. Last adjustment, right? Finance cost including following. Interest expenses, bank loan, interest expenses, OBD, right? 15 million altogether. Finance cost, right? Here, then anyway we missed finance cost adjustment. Here we got this, right? Detail. Finance cost include these finance expenses on, right? Here we'll do the finance cost adjustment. In other words, we call tin capitalization adjustment. Tin cap adjustment. Right? Tin cap adjustment. So, right here, you need to remember in this adjustment, right? I will explain a little bit on theory, right? So, finance cost adjustment, we have to adjust by multiplying 4 times because previously we have different sector 3 times, for manufacturing for all other 4 times, right? For the year 2020 and 2021, right? For manufacturing in companies, we have to multiply it by 3. For others, we multiplied by 2 times, right? So this is for 2020 and 2021, right? So then with the any balance, we carry forward up to maximum 6 years, right? This allowed component. Then so here for year 2021, 2022, you claim entirely finance cost without any restriction for limitation. This rule were not applied because of COVID pandemic. COVID pandemic කාලේ company වලට සහනයක් විදියට, right? As a concession, they allow us to claim, companies to claim entire finance cost without any think cap adjustments, right? Without finance cost adjustment, right? එතකොට 20 එකේ අපිට මේ adjustment එක තියුණා for manufacturing 3 times, for other entities 4 times. For this 2021 2022 no adjustments. Then 22-23 onward again 4 times, irrespective of the sector, all entities we have to multiply by 4 times. Finance cost divided by cost of financial instrument, borrowing cost, and then multiplied by share capital and reserved into 4 times, right? This is the one, right? Hope it's clear, right? In short, the year 2021, we manufacturing company and other sectors, others, we multiplied by finance cost divided by borrowing cost, multiplied by share capital plus reserves into 3 times, right? So that was the adjustment. So others, finance cost, borrowing cost, multiplied by share capital plus reserves into 4 times, right? In 21-22, entire finance cost allowed, right? 22-23, again, all entities without any segregation, finance cost and the loan amount multiplied by share capital plus reserved into 4 times. 4 times it's benefited. Government giving more benefited to get this, right? 4 times, right? The companies will get benefit, right? So then we'll go ahead with the section. The finance cost here on bank loan, finance interest expense on bank loan, and also interest expense on OD we have to consider, right? Both we have 10,000 and 5,000. As I can remember. Yes. Yeah. 5,000. Yeah. Correct. Then here the finance cost. This is the finance cost. Yeah, I would say A, right? I would say A, finance cost. That's it. And then you have to get the interest bearing borrowings, the borrowing cost, right? Then borrowing cost. We noted that in the very first question, right? In the balance tract of the balance sheet, we have interest bearing borrowings, 150 million, right? 150, right? 150. And then bank OD amount also we have to consider, as it is also borrowing, right? Loan. 25,000, right? Then the borrowing cost would be how much? 175 million. I would say B, right? Then share capital plus reserves. As per the issued share capital, how much? Issued share capital we have 8,000, right? And share capital, general reserve. Can we take revaluation reserve? General reserve how much? 20, right? Can we take revaluation reserve? No. Here revaluation reserve also given, right? But you need to, no need to consider, right? Right. Only general reserve, right? You have to consider, right? This is C, right? Right. Then allowable finance cost, how to calculate, right? Then this is the total finance cost, how much is allowed, right? Allowable finance cost. Allowable finance cost, how to calculate? So equal, so A divided by B, right? Multiplied by C into, right? C into 4 times, right? C into 4 times, right? Here I will do the formula, right? Finance cost divided by finance borrowing cost, cost of borrowing, the, the loan amount actually, sorry, right? Loan amount, finance cost divided by loan amount multiplied by share capital plus reserve into what? Then you will get this amount, right? This much of cost allowed as deduction, even though you incur 15 million, right? 15 million, you can deduct only maximum 9.6 million, right? Then disallowable finance cost would be how much? A minus D. I would say, yeah, A minus D. Here, I will not name minus D, right? Disallowable finance cost, we have to disallow in the red column, right? Right? Signal, right? Clear? Finance cost adjustment also clear. After that, we don't have any adjustments, right? We have also considered all other expenses here. All other expenses are incurred, right? Allowed for tax purpose, yes. Then the income tax paid as quarterly payment, right? Five 5,000 each quarter, right? 5,000 each quarter. Then the 5,000 you need to multiply by 4, right? Then you need to get it for the quarterly payment, right? 20,000 as a tax credit, right? You need to remember that as well, right? Then I'm going to end the calculation part of assessable income from business. I'm going to end assessable calculation of assessable income from business. Yeah, that we need the total plus column, right? And we have to get the total of minus column as well, right? Then, then we can take plus column minus this reduction. We call this as what? Can anyone say? Right? Assessable income from business. Assessable income from business. This is the part we did, right? This is the part we did. Assessable income from business. Right? Assessable income from business. Right? Then, for going forward, the balance part, what I do is here, first period and second period, right? April to September, first 6 months, and October to December, second 6 months, right? So first period and the second period. Then we have to get assessable income from business for the first period and second period, and then we'll go ahead with the investment income, right? So here I will use pro rata basis, that means 50% of for this period, and for this period the balance 50%, right? So this is, I'm going to split between two periods on pro rata basis, right? Assessable income from business, right? Then I'm going to calculate assessable income from investment, right? Assessable income from investment, what do we have, right? What do we have, right? We removed, can you remember that? Investment and dividend, right? So we removed because those are coming under investment, right? So gross interest income, gross dividend. Then we have to have separate two period understanding, because two different taxes applicable for investment income, right? Because law change, right? Let's look at the figures for two different period. For interest income, in the exams, usually you also will get the same split. For interest for first period 2000, no tax deduction, gross interest, right? You have to consider here. Second period 5,800, which is in thousand, you have to consider for this period, right? But you need to remember for this period, you need to remember you have advance income tax deduction by the bank 5%. You have to remember that to get that particular credit at the end, right? Because bankuwa 5% අනිවාර්යෙන් deduct කරනවා second period දෙකේදී ඒක ලෝයි කමියු mandatory, right? For the second period, right? So then you can get that particular deduction, right? Then dividend, first period 12,000, second period 35,000. Here for interest income, one more thing. For second period, banks they start deducting 1st of January 2023 onward, right? Even though we split into on actual basis, right? Bank started deduction 1st of January 2023 onward 5%. Then make sure you are taking that particular tax credit as per the advance income tax deduction certificate given by the bank. Bank will give credit certificate එක අනුව. Then if I multiply this amount into 5%, it would be wrong, right? Right? Because withholding tax deducted by the bank only for the half of this, right? So, because last 3 months only, right? Last 3 months only, right? For the time being calculation purposes, I will use for the half of this, because this is applicable for withholding tax applicable for Jan to March, right? Advance income tax implemented from 2023 January onward, so applicable only for last 3 months, right? So therefore I will take this credit as a 145, right? So make sure you are considering, you need to verify with advance income tax deduction certificate given by the bank, right? Given by the bank. Right. Here this question is not included that part, right? In the exam, sometime as per the advance income tax deduction certificate given by the bank, this much of tax credit available for the last 3 month period, you can take the credit, right? So the dividend income first period, yes, we have to consider. For the second period, we can exclude that part, because assuming that advance income withholding tax applicable for this 15%, assuming that company, because they have declared out of profit, company has deducted, right? Company has deducted that Therefore, assuming that, removing not considered that, right? For the second period, actually, it is mandatory provisions available for other companies to deduct advance income tax here, right? Withholding tax 15% for dividend, right? Dividend එකට 15% අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම deduct කරන්න ඕන, right? ඒක නිසා withholding tax dividend income තියෙනවා නම් second period එකේ අපි ගන්නෙ නැහැ, right? For dividend income තියෙනවා නම් second period එකේ we have to disregard that part. In the same details, I will this circular also you can refer when you are doing the understanding of this year of assessment. Very important to refer even if you are facing exam for chartered or any other university exam with the year of assessment 22-23, right? So very important for this one. Here they have some example question as well, right? So if you go ahead with the companies, right? So companies, they have nicely worked it out, but you need to be mindful. So dividend for the second period, we have to exclude, right? For the first period only taxable at the normal rate, right? Examples also provided. You can refer that one as well, right? Right. So dividend, because it is final, 15% withholding tax is there, right? Since it is final, we have to consider disregard for the second period dividend income, right? It's benefited for the companies, right? 15%න් tax ලා එක අවසන් වෙනවා. dividend income එකක් තියෙනවා නම් 15%න් tax වුණා ඒක ඉවරයි. 30 වෙනකන් යන්නේ. That's benefited, right? Anyway, if you have investment income, right? So then we don't have any other investment incomes. So then other than that, assessable income from other parties, assessable income from business, assessable income from investment, assessable income from other. We don't have anything come under this, right? Then here we can call it as total assessable income. Here we can call it as total assessable income, right? Right, total assessable income. Right. Then after calculating total assessable income, here you can deduct if you have any qualifying payment. Qualifying payment I just put in QP, right? If you want, I can write down qualifying payment, right? Qualifying payment you can deduct under this. If you have donation to approved charity, donation to approved charity, right? You can get, right, with the limit of lower of actual then 1/5 of the taxable income for 500,000, right? 500,000, 5K I would say, right? If it's donation to government, no restriction is applicable, right? Donation to government or specified institution under that, right? You can deduct 100%. Then you can remember that I put a mark over here, these two anyway I have considered, right? So then the remember mark, what is here? This one. Donation to government and specified institution. Government and specified institution, right? Specified institution. So you can deduct without any limitation. You can deduct entirely, right? Here you can deduct entire amount 1,000 as a deduction, right? Then qualifying payment considered. Then what? We don't have approved charity. Approved charity. If examiner says approved charity, always you have to consider that approved charity. If the let's say actual let's say 700, the low says only 500,000, right? Then the one fifth of the taxable income, no need to consider, right? No need to consider even because we are in the assessable income, right? Even one fifth of the taxable income anyway, big amount. Let's look at the one fifth of these two, right? If you take these two and just take one fifth, significant amount, 20 million, right? Even in the exam, all make a one fifth of katawa hadan no need ne. Just if you can write down, that's fine. You will get the full mark, right? One fifth of the taxable income kila hadan no need, right? Anyway, you have to consider actual donation and as per the law 500%. So if you look at that qualifying payment provision, right? This, right? One fifth of the taxable income of 500. For government, for any other specified institution, 100% claimable. So universities, all this will cover under this, right? Approved charity, you have to consider 500 and actual on, right? No need to go ahead with one fifth of the taxable income. Anyway, big amount, right? So then, may they compare, then you can deduct lower minimum amount. Here, what is the minimum? 500. Here, the balance you can get, you can't carry it forward. Then 500 claim करे 100ක් මම donate කරා මෙතන 200 මොකද කරන්නේ cannot carry it forward. ඔයාලට ඊළඟ අවුරුද්දට ගෙනියන්න බෑ මේ, right? මතක කරලා දාන්න ඕනේ හිත හදාගන්න. නැත්නම් ඔයා donate කරනකොට 500ට වඩා donate කරන්න. එහෙම කරන්න. Alright. What you can do is you can't carry it forward for subsequent years, right? So if you donate only let's say 400, you can take 400. No carry forward, right? No carry forward. Right? You can claim only 400. Can claim only 400. Claimable, right? Here, specified institution without any limit, you can claim 100, right? Like entirely deduct කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතකොට deduct කරනකොට ඔයා first period එකද ගන්නවද second period එක ගන්නවද කියන එක ඔයාගේ අතේ තියෙන්නේ. මොකද department ruling එක තියෙන්නේ the circular as per the circular given qualifying payment either you can claim in the first period or second period, that doesn't matter, right? So here qualifying payment are deductible either first period or second period. It's up to you, right? You can get the maximum benefit because I took it in the second period because second period tax rate එක වැඩි. මේ period එකේ tax එක වැඩි නිසා මම මේ period එකට ගත්තා, right? So therefore I took it in this period. ඔයාට ඕන මේ period එකට ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. මොකද 130ට tax වෙන period එක තමයි second period එක. ඒක නිසා මේකේ deduct කරන එක වාසික, right? Clear? That's up to you. Or if you want, you can take 50-50, right? Make it 500 and 500, right? Right. Here it's provided in this circular, right? Right. සමහර ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන common ප්‍රශ්න ඒකත් මම ඇඩ්‍රස් කරනවා මෙතනම. What is that? Markup we discussed, right? Because it's anyway automatically we have considered that. So lower rate loss in a company. If you take lower rate loss for the first period, you can't transfer it to higher rate in the previous law. But due to amendment, first period losses, lower rate losses, you can take it into the second period, right? Second period, no worries, right? If you have any carry forward losses or the previous losses, right? Where the loss incurred in the first period, right? that the person loss incurred in the business, right? Then the lower rate taxable, right? If the tax rate for grain and produce increase with effective from this date, right? 30% or not. Maybe taking past 30%, right? Increase. Brought forward losses and loss incurred during the first period. කලින් දිගටම ගෙනාවු losses සහ මේ අවුරුද්දේ මේ මාස 6ට first මාස 6 loss එක වුණා නම් 14 loss එක business could deduct in calculating assessable income or investment irrespective of the reason, right? Income irrespective of the reason such losses are reduce the rate losses, right? Or to reduce the losses එක not මේ period එකේ අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන් second period එකේ අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන්. You can deduct such losses in the second period. Very important, right? This part. Sometime in the exam, you might get descriptions, right? For explanation part, lower rate losses, what happened when the rate is changed to this one. This is kind of a transaction arrangement they have given, right? To claim in the second period, right? So entire loss brought forward ginaapu ඒවා සහ මේ අවුරුද්දේ first month high 6-month loss එක you can claim in the second period, right? Hope it's clear. Additional things, right? Then after that, we will end up with the assessable income from investment. Then after deducting qualifying payment, we call final figure called taxable income, right? Taxable income. Here we call taxable income. Very important. After that, I put double line because right, taxable income, I put double line because why? After taking the taxable income, no continuation. Then what you have to do is you have to calculation of income tax liability, right? Calculation of income tax liability. How to calculate income tax liability? So that's on the first we have to consider all different sources of income, right? So business income, interest, dividend for this period, right? Very carefully you have to look, right? So then the first one I will take tax on dividend income, right? Tax on dividend income, let's say, take, right? Tax on dividend income, let's see, right? For the first period, dividend income we have 12,000 for the first period. For dividend, right? And first 6 month and second 6 month for dividend, first 6 month, right? As an income tax purpose, for income tax purpose, for first 6 month, tax at the rate of 14%. Here, no income tax applicable. Because why? They implement withholding tax system with effective from after that, onward, right? The second period, then it was final withholding tax. It was now it is final, right? Then this period we consider for income tax 14%. For the second period, we considered as withholding tax fine, right? This is the picture, right? Big picture as withholding tax, right? No withholding tax on the first period, only income tax 14%. Second period, you have withholding tax as final, no income tax purpose, right? No need to consider under income tax. This is very understandable, right? Very easy, right? Very clear, right? right? 14% dividend, tax on, then tax on interest, tax on interest income, tax on interest income. Here, interest income, what we have, right? Interest income, yes, first period, 2000, and the second period, 5,000. For the first period, sorry, right, for the first period, we will consider this 2000 and the tax rate for interest 24% because company normal general rate applicable for interest as well. Because there are no withholding tax system as well, right? Which was not final, even if it is deducted under consent given by the company, right? Consent එක දුන්නත් ඒක final දුන්නේ දීලා තිබුණා නම් අපිට tax rate එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. Assuming that they haven't given consent to deduct advance income tax, right? Company advance income tax එකට consent එක දීලා නැහැ. ඒක නිසා so anyway, if even consent given, you can compute the tax here and take the credit at the end, right? හැබැයි consent එක දීලා තියෙනවා නම් tax credit එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාලට යටින් අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? You can deduct at the end, right? Right. Then we have considered these two separately for interest. I just take it out you to understand these two, right? These two considered. I will use a different color because it's considered. Then balance income tax liability for the first 6 months, right? Tax. Right? Balance tax on the balance income, right? Tax on balance income, right? Balance income would be how much? This one minus this, right? What is the rate for the first 6 months, right? 14%. Why? Is export business, right? Export business. Export. Very important. You to remember these things. Otherwise, you will end up with wrong answer, right? Because by this 14% export, you can see the fiction, the given fiction. The fiction says they are mainly doing export international market and then they do export, right? So therefore 14%. Then the manufacture and export, even then the sometime you can say they are doing manufacturing and export. So manufacturing and export 14%, right? For the first 6 month time, just repeating, right? For manufacturing only 18% was there, right? See the harder rate. Export only 14%, right? In manufacturing export, you can enjoy the 14%, right? Therefore, 14%, right? Then for balance 6 months. So balance 6 months, income tax liability for the year for first 6 months, right? This is for first 6 months. For second 6 months, for tax liability, tax on, doesn't matter whether it is investment or business, that doesn't matter, all tax at the rate of business. If you want, I can separately show it to you. Tax on interest, Again 30% interest income, tax on balance. Interest income. No need to have a separation, no time wasting for you at the exam. You just take this figure directly, right? And because I also use the same, otherwise qualifying payment is also there, then we'll not capture that one. Therefore, for the second 6 months, tax on taxable income, right? For the second 6 months, after deducting qualifying payment, the rate is what? Rate is 30%, right? So rate is 30%. Yeah, fair. Then, right? Then we have considered all total income here, right? You can double check, right? You can double check by totaling these two. Then to make sure whether you have doing the correct. Yes, correct. 101, 150, 101, 150. Yes, both are okay, right? Both are correct, right? Right. Then you have calculated tax liability, right? You have calculated tax liability. Then what you can deduct, right? What you can deduct, right? This is the income tax liability, right? Income tax liability, total income tax liability, I would say. Okay. Total income tax liability. Then you can deduct tax credit. Then you can deduct tax credit. What tax credits are available? The first one is quarterly installment. Quarterly installment, right? Quarterly installment. You can no need to have separation after this. The total income tax liability, I will take it under here as a one line and get at the end. So this is the total income tax liability. All right. Total income tax liability, right? 21 million. And then you can take the credits. How much per quarter? Plus 5,000 they paid, and then 20,000 quarterly installment. Do we have advance income tax on interest? Anyway, bank has deducted advance income tax. I explain, right? Because I will take only 145 as per the withholding tax certificate given, right? Because dividend income එක අපි ගත්තේ නැහැ. 15 අනිවාර්යෙන් withholding tax deduct කරනවා second period එකේදී, right? The 15% anyway is deducted for the second period. It is fine. No need to take the tax credit. Dividend එකට tax credit ගන්නේ නැහැ ඒක නිසා. Right? We are not taking the tax credit for the dividend for the second period, right? Clear. Then any other tax credit? For notional tax credit, you will get at the exam some time to complicate you because it is also not deductible. Notional tax credit not done because as per the transitional provision gazette, it is not deductible because it is expired. Because notional tax credit, sometime you might get, sometime if examiner want to complicate you, notional tax credit in the sense that does higher act number 10 of 2006 Act in London Act. We had a provisions for treasury bill, treasury bond investment. Treasury bill hari treasury bond hari invest kala tiyana. The primary dealers they deducted 10%, and auditor certified that as notional tax, and auditor's certification is required to take the tax credit. Auditor certify kala dunna tax credit claim කරන්න 10%. As per the transition provision, it was available only for the 3 years, 18, 19, 19, 20, 2021 only. 2022, 2023 years, no notional tax credit. Therefore, if you get any notional tax credit carried forward amount, don't claim, right? If you want, I will write down notional tax credit cannot claim. Even if there are any balance available, in the inspection is anyway not there, right? If you get at the exam, you cannot claim, right? Then balance tax payable would be 1,572, right? 1,572. Here we call it as balance tax payable or refund due, right? Here anyway, it's a payable. You need to pay this one on or before 30th September 2023, right? 30th September 2023. Anyway, it's already delayed, right? Final payment after the quarterly payment. You need to pay the final payment 30th September 2023, right? Right? Final payment date. This is the entire snapshot of the income tax computation of a resident company, right? Hope this is clear to everyone, all right? So I discuss in detail whatever the applicable provisions by considering all the applicable provisions as much as possible. So I hope it's clear to all of you. If you have any doubts, any further clarification, you can comment on this video and you can email me, email also there, right? I will provide the link on this section and the answer under description. You can download this question and the answer which I prepared, and also you can comment on this video how was explanation, is it good, understandable, and all these things, and also to subscribe to my channel as well, and see you in another video. Thank you all.